Hello, everyone. Apparently we're running a little bit late. To be honest, that'll happen when I hop dimensions. But, we have an interesting topic for this week. In particular, we're going to talk about a particular mental disease. A disease that mostly shows its ugly head, when normal human beings get extremely angry to the point of going on a killing rampage. This is most often known to people under the slang title of going postal. It just so happens to also be a video game. We start at the very beginning of the game with the aptly named Postal Dude. It is guessed that at the very beginning of the game here that he's being kicked out of his home. Does he see this as a government conspiracy, or even as a bigger threat to his well-being and those around him? It's unsure, but what we do know is that he is about to make a stand starting in his yard, and the police that try to move him on... Yeah... Thus begins the plot of the game. It is hinted at some sources that he thinks that, one way or another, there's a greater evil afoot, and that the new Air Force base near the city might be the reason for why things are turning out the way they are. Whether it's Big Brother hatred or planned crazy virus, one thing is for sure, Postal Dude is in for the fight of his life. So, plot aside, because there's so little of it, what can we garner from the game itself and figure out what actually is going on here? Well, one thing is obviously clear. The Postal Dude is officially angry enough to go on a rampage that could end up killing both guilty and innocent alike. But some of the other interesting things is that our main character doesn't actually talk outside being shot or burned. There is, however, a voice that is clearly different talking for him as he does things. And it should be noted that the audio file for this voice is named Demon, leading to yet another possible page of the winding, interesting puzzle that is this game and its intent. So leaving the story and plot behind, I guess it's time to talk about the game basics, the gameplay and so forth. Probably should get the negatives out of the way first. It should be noted that this was a small group that put this game together at the time. So it was a bit behind on the quality and hasn't aged at all that well. This is not helped by the fact that the game is purely isometric shooting, meaning that you need to spin around in a circle using left and right instead of moving or looking that direction. Not helped, of course, due to the lack of easy aiming device. The best you can find is the reticle device that might tell you if you are actually locking onto something within the range of the weapon that you are actually using. But you have to aim and not overshoot at aiming at people first, so that can become a problem. Also, some levels are overpopulated to the point of aggravation, as you need to clear each level in one go to move on. No save points in the middle of the level, you need to do all of it. Moving on to better stuff, however, it seems that the developers are guessing you're going to cheat anyway, as there's actually achievements for it.
Sissy.
Also, despite the odd and often aggravating controls, you do have a dark and interesting plot going on around you. You get clips of the Postal Dude's diary alongside some eerie background music, but along with that eerie dark music, you hardly get anything during the actual gameplay, and quite frequently you'll hear the air just being filled with the screams of civilians, cops, firemen, and even band members just overwhelming your senses at points. Aside from the normal humans, we also get the occasional ostrich. Why ostriches? We really don't know. Either it's a bug or an odd planned joke by the developers. And while the end is interesting, I won't fully give it away, aside from the fact that it starts with this, and these, and a series of interesting images and events thereafter. While the gameplay is flawed in Postal, it has some very dark and powerful imagery, and interesting romp for those who have the guts for it. Sequels, however, were a rather large departure from this game. The next game would turn its focus to a more over-the-top, less serious dark humor kind of stance. But if you're interested in where the roots of this particular series came from, Postal, while very hard at times, is by no means an unrewarding romp. So that's it for this time. Again, I'd like to thank you all who have been watching me, and we'll see you next time.